folks, Sugarman Sam here. Hopefully you're all well. This is the start of one of the videos that series of videos that I said I would do. Had a request for kind of spicing up your solos and getting out of the box, as it were. So I thought I would do that. So we're going to be, for the purposes of this, in the key of G today. And the first thing I want to say, as has been said so many times before, is find every note on the fretboard that relates to the key that you're in, because then you'll be able to have a home base, as it were. So in this case, we're looking for G's. So it's G there, open G here, G here, 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 here. Oh, we said that one already. So find your G's or your key notes, and so you know where everything is on the fretboard. That's the first point. The other thing is knowing your scales and what's going to work. So as a blues player and a rock player mainly, I enjoy the pentatonic, which is 5 notes, which is great. So again, you need to learn those positions. And if you haven't, go and check out, there's so many YouTube videos, stuff on the caged system and stuff like that. But I'll run through them quickly now. So there's 5 notes, so there's 5 positions, and I'm going to start them on each root note. So that's number 1. Number 2. Number 3. And number 4. And number 5. So make sure you know where all your notes are and you know those 5 positions. In basic terms, if you want to break out of a rut, you need to start thinking without muscle memory. So if you're going to play fast all the time, that's muscle memory. I can do that all day long in that position, but I might not be able to do it across the fretboard. So I guess if you want to break out of the rut a little bit, what you want to do is think about playing melodies and repeating those melodies in different parts of the neck. Again, there's loads of stuff out there, but so for example, we're going to take this lick. So it's really simple, it's nothing too drastic, and I'm actually adding in an extra note there from the blues scale. So run with me with this, okay? So my first thing would be find the different positions that you can do that across the fretboard. So obviously here, we could do it here, we could do it here, and we could do it here, and the octave of that is. So now I know where I can do that all over the neck, okay? But you want to be able to connect that up, okay? So you have to start seeing where this is where knowing where all those notes are on there, okay? So we're going to go, and we're going to end up. So now's where you need to start seeing things. So I'm going to play it at speed first, and then I'll tell you how I kind of link it together. So it's really basic. You're just connecting the dots, all right? So what I mean by that is, slowly I went. So effectively what I took was this, out of this shape, the first one. So I'm going, and then I'm going to run up and take part of the next shape. So the next shape would be across one octave. So I'm going, so I'm sliding into that next one, up. Now you're at your home base, which is the G, so you know you can repeat the lick again. So it's connecting different parts of that. And that's just from coming, as I say, taking from different positions. So that's item 1, basically, okay? Number 2 is to play the same kind of riff or melody, but think about it in terms of different notes, and not just, because essentially this is the same position. You're doing the same thing just across different octaves. So maybe think about it from a grouping notes differently. So again, home is. So what if I move it into the second position? Okay, and try and think of the same notes. Okay, so I'm going. So the first one we had, and now we've got. So slightly different, right? Because there's no slide. I'm instead of going, I'm doing. And instead of going up from here, I'm doing it here. So, and it just gives it a different sound. It bends your ear differently. Sounds differently already. So, yeah, and then again we can you can slide into it differently, maybe. So you can slide up to it. Poor example. So same riff, different note notes in a different order, or playing it a bit differently. Okay, so that's item 2. Number 3 is to really listen to what's being played. Okay, so in this context, if we're in G, in the case of a blues, it's a 1-4-5. Okay, so we're C is your 4 chord. That's the 1. E is your 5. 4. So it's listening to the chords that you're playing. And the best thing to practice this is to put a backing track on with a blues progression on, or whatever, and you can hit your root notes first. So go to the 4. Okay, so you're following the progression. I know I added a pick-up note at the start there, but the next thing is to start thinking about your major or minor thirds. Okay, because if you don't know the theory behind that, go and have a look at that. Or if you want to know the theory, drop me a line and I'll go through it with you. But essentially, I'm going to assume you know this. Okay, so a dominant 7 chord has a major third in it. So in this case, that's your G. Your major third is B. Okay, and then with C, it's going to be, your major third is going to be E. And then D is going to, your major third is going to be F sharp. So now start thinking about those. So it takes a little bit of theory because you've got to know where those notes are, okay? But those notes can be the difference. And you can bend into those notes, like we said about previously, these different techniques, you could bend into that. So and again there, when I went back to the D, which is the 5 chord, I went, so you're hitting those notes, okay? And that relates to arpeggios as well. So you can play arpeggios over these things. So if you want to just keep it simple, 1 major third and 5. So in G's case, same with C, you can do it up here. And then D. And start playing those over the chords. So if you're like, so again. Now again, I played those different, there was 2 different positions that I played for those arpeggios, but it's, again, the aside from that is you can find those arpeggios all over the neck once you know where the notes are. So we talked about finding G. So now start thinking about arpeggios. Okay, so where can you put those arpeggios? So one major third and 5. So that's, you're looking for G, B, and D. So where can I do that next? Oh, sorry. We can do here. That started on the major third. I apologise for that one. Okay, so start finding those arpeggios. And then really it's just kind of about mixing all of these things together, and you're not going to know unless you sit and play. Okay, so you know, learn your favourite songs. You know, why do people do the things that they do, and then it can help you with all these other things. So instead of kind of finding yourself in a solo and be like, once you start knowing where all these things are, you can change that up a little bit. So you know, instead of going, you might want to go, you know, incorporate the major third. You know, you might want to repetition. All stuff like that. Okay, so recap, if you like, top tips. Find all your notes on the fretboard. We're in G, so we're looking for all the Gs. Okay, find all those so you know where your home base are, and do that for all keys. Okay, it doesn't not just G or whatever. Secondly, figure out how to play different riffs and melodies once you've worked those out at different parts of the neck. So as I said, the first one we did was, where can we do that? So, and stuff like that will give you different challenges, and then, you know, find different ways to play those notes. So as I said before, instead of doing it here, we're going to do it here. So so just practice those. And then secondly, it's finding your major and your minor thirds, okay, and arpeggios, and working out where you can put those across the neck, okay. I think what I'll do is I'll do another video of putting this into practice, okay. Just over a 12 bar blues, I think that's the easiest thing to do. and then as you go, you can see how to do that. But like I said, if you just play with it a little bit, work with it a little bit, you'll find your way around, and end up being able to, you know, kind of solo confidently, if you like. So hopefully that gives you something to work with, and yeah, as I said, drop me comments, drop me messages, let me know what you want to know, and I'll do that, be it lessons, tips, tone. I'll jump on the bandwagon, I'll do some songs as well, I think that might be fun. So yeah, I'll catch you soon.